Hello, and we are back in Unit 3 Handling Data 3. In this tutorial, we will be solving the following exercise. This frequency table gives the times of the first 60 runners in a cross-country race. Find the estimate of the mean. So, let's take a look at this table. The table has two columns. The left one is for the time, and the right one is for the frequency. If you take a closer look, the time is not given as an exact number. It is given as a range. For example, you have from 17 to 8 minutes. There were 4 runners that finished the race, which is relevant to the frequency. The frequency shows how many racers finished the race within that time range. The time ranges are 17 to 18, 18 to 19, 19 to 20, and etc. And the frequency shows how many racers were at the finish line during that time range. So the first thing that we're going to have to do is we're going to have to pick an exact time to fill in on the table, which is through calculating the midpoint of those time ranges. For the first time range, it is between 17 and 8 minutes, but we need something exact. So we're going to add 17 to 18, and we're going to divide it by 2, which is 35 by 2, which is 17.5. So 17.5 is now an exact time, and we're going to add its frequency, which is 4. The frequency is not going to change. Now, same thing is going to happen for all the time ranges. 18 to 19, the midpoint is 18.5. 19 to 20, midpoint is 19.5. 20 to 21, we have the midpoint as 20.5. 21 to 22, our midpoint is going to be 21.5. 22 to 23, our midpoint is going to be 22.5. And finally, for 23 to 24, the midpoint is 23.5. And notice the frequencies didn't change. We don't have to change the frequencies because in this way we would be changing the data. But the only thing that we're trying to do is come up with an exact time. Now, as we've learned before, the mean is, the first step for calculating the mean is the time, which is the value, times the f, which is the frequency. So, let's go ahead and multiply all the times that we have just calculated with the midpoints by the frequencies that were already given. So, we're going to start with 17.5 times 4, which is 70. And then we have 18.5 times 7, which is 129.5, and so on. After you finish doing so, we're going to have to remember the rule for the mean. The rule for the mean is actually the sum of all values divided by the total number of the values. So, to calculate the sum of the values, we're going to have to add up all these numbers that we have calculated in this column right here. So, the sum, represented by this symbol, is 1247. And now, after we have the sum, we're going to have to add all the number of values, which is adding the numbers in the frequency column, in order to find the number of values, which is 60. And now, after we have the sum of values and the total number of values, we just have to divide 1247 divided by the total number of values, which is 60, is equal to 20.78.